I saw the exact moment your hands trembled as you held that coffee cup earlier today. I saw when you looked at the empty walls of your room and felt a silence so heavy it seemed to have form, a silence that screamed louder than any noise outside. You didn't come to this video by mere chance or mechanical suggestion. You came because your soul cried out for help that no one else could hear. I stopped what I was doing in governing the universe to tell you that divine love has finally found the address of your anguish. I know you read that God will heal what still hurts, and what I have to give you today is living proof that I haven't forgotten you, not for a single second. There is something kept in my silence for you, a secret I kept in the folds of time that will only be revealed in the final instant of our conversation. Perhaps you wonder if I still perform the impossible, if I am still the one who opens paths in the sea and restores what life has broken. I am the one who saw Hannah's tears, who restored Job's dignity, and who knows every fiber of your being from your mother's womb. Just as I acted in the lives of those who waited on me throughout the centuries, today I am acting in your story, removing the layers of pain that the world has accumulated upon your heart. In this sacred conversation, I will guide you on a path of profound restoration. I will show you how to exchange the weight of grief for the lightness of my presence, how to free your heart from the betrayals that still bind you, and how to find beauty in the ashes of your past. If the breath of my voice is reaching your heart now, and if you feel that this is the sign you have been asking for, let me know where you are at this very moment. Write your name below, the country or city from which your soul speaks to me now, and the time your eyes read this revelation of mine. I want you to feel at home because this is our secret place. If you feel this touch is real, let your heart pour out in a sincere cry, Lord my God, I am here. I signed up because I love you and want to hear you. This is not a command, it is the recognition of a daughter who has finally found the Father's embrace. Stay with me until the last breath of this message, for I have a clear answer to what afflicts you. At the end, a specific phrase will be whispered in your ear, a spiritual key that will open the doors that fear has closed. Whoever writes this phrase in the comments will seal a covenant of faith and receive prophetic blessings that are already released upon their home. Do not leave here, for what still hurts you is about to find my balm. But there is something I have not yet shown you, and you will only understand if you listen to what I have to say about the weight you carry in secret. You have been so strong, my daughter, so strong that the whole world believes in the armor you wear every day before leaving home. I see you in front of the mirror, observing the wrinkles that time has etched on your face, trying to disguise the deep weariness in your eyes with makeup. You've become a master at smiling while your soul aches. When someone asks if everything is all right, the answer comes automatically, rehearsed for decades of survival. Everything's fine, God knows everything. And yes, I really do know. I know that this everything's fine is the loudest cry of a soul that can no longer bear the weight of 1,000 disappointments. I was there, that late afternoon when the sun was setting, and you felt the cold of dawn arrive early in your chest. I saw when you locked yourself in the bathroom, turned on the tap so no one would hear your sobs, and let your body slide to the cold floor. There, in the secrecy of your tears, there was no social media, no appearance, no judgment from your friends or family. There was only the stark truth of a woman who feels that joy has become a distant memory, almost like an old photograph faded by the sun. Many tell you that time heals all wounds, but I, the creator of time, tell you today, time, by itself, only buries the still living pain. Time only creates a scab over the wound, but the infection remains, stealing your peace during sleepless nights. You try to hide what you feel under obligations, caring for others, endless chores in your kitchen. But when the silence of the night arrives and the lights go out, that old pain throbs again, reminding you that it's still there. That's why I'm here now, breaking through the barriers you yourself built around your heart. Remember when people disappointed you, and you decided you would never trust anyone again? At that moment, you created a prison where the only prisoner is you. But I am not scandalized by your vulnerability. I do not judge you for being tired of carrying the burden of appearing perfect. I called you to this meeting because God will heal what still hurts, not only what you show, but especially what you hide even from yourself. I am the doctor who doesn't need blood tests to see that your spirit is broken. For it is written in the first book of Samuel, chapter 16, verse 7, "Man looks at the outward appearance, but the Lord looks at the heart." And what I see in your heart today is a desperate desire to be cared for, instead of just caring. I see the need for a balm that will finally interrupt this cycle of masked sadness. You have already proven that you are strong to the world. Now, allow me to be your strength in your moment of greatest weakness. If you feel that you can finally lower your guard in my presence, and that you no longer need this iron mask, let your sign of trust be given. What have you kept hidden in the deepest part of your silence? What would your soul cry out if it knew it would not be judged by me? Share this message with a friend you know also cries in secret, as an act of love and intercession. Write your declaration of freedom in the comments so that heaven may record that today you chose the truth, without masks. Stay with me, for I have not yet shown you what I intend to do with the shards left over from your last disappointment. You who hear me now realize that each word I place in your spirit is like a seed of healing in thirsty soil. The care I have for you overflows through this channel that I have prepared as a refuge for your lonely nights. If your heart burns with gratitude for what you have heard, and you wish to reciprocate the comfort you find here, I invite you to transform this feeling into a living seed to sustain this ministry that carries my voice to the afflicted. If it is possible for you, and only if you feel this peace, transform your gratitude into a gesture of love for this sacred space. Consider my immeasurable love and the sacrifice of my Son, Jesus, and contribute using the method I have prepared in the description of this video and in the first pinned comment. There, you will find the place where your offering of love can be deposited and consecrated before the Creator of all things. You can offer any amount your heart dictates. If you wish to give a different amount, simply register the desired value. Remember, only what fits joyfully in your heart, for I receive every penny with immense tenderness. The absolute value in the eyes of the world does not matter. What truly matters is the intention and the heart with which you give. For what may seem little to you is the great thing that sustains the journey of those who receive this word on the other side. Those who contribute any amount with a sincere heart, please remember to register your name and city along with your contribution. On the first day of the following month, I will do something unique and special on our channel and page, Divine Love, the Voice of God. Your name will be remembered and mentioned in gratitude, covered by divine blessings that will be released in prayer upon your house and your descendants. For it is written in 2 Corinthians chapter 9, verse 7, "Each one should give what he has decided in his heart to give, not reluctantly or under compulsion, for God loves a cheerful giver. Every offering made in faith is a precious seed before me, your Lord, and I will not fail to bear fruit in your life. I see what you do in the secret of your devotion, and I will reward you in the sight of all." Remain with me until the end of this message because the scalpel of my love still needs it. You have been in doctors' offices where the smell of alcohol and the whiteness of the walls seem to suffocate your hope. I saw you sit in that metal chair, your heart pounding against your ribs, hoping that an exam, a machine, or a piece of paper could name what you feel. The doctor looked at your results, adjusted his glasses, and said everything was normal. But you, upon leaving, felt an immense urge to scream, because the pain that consumes you does not appear in MRI images and cannot be measured on a scale of 0 to 10. It is a pain that lives in the invisible fabric of your soul, in the folds of your memory, in the place where the human scalpel will never be able to reach. I am the physician of physicians, and my office has no walls, but it has a healing silence. I see the scars that time could not close, and the bruises that harsh words left on your spirit. Often you try to treat this anguish with distractions, with remedies that only silence the body, but leave the soul screaming in agony. I tell you today that true healing begins when you allow me to touch exactly where it hurts, without fear of showing me how inflamed it is. I do not shy away from what is ugly or broken in you. I approach with the tenderness of the one who wove you in the secret of the womb. Remember that afternoon when the rain beat against the window, and you felt such a great emptiness that it seemed as if your chest was a hollow cave. At that moment I was there, holding your trembling hand. You don't need to feign composure with me. If your trauma is an open wound that has throbbed for 20 years, I have the balm that penetrates the deepest layers, where rejection has settled and taken root in bitterness. For it is written in Psalm 147 verse 3, "He heals the brokenhearted and binds up their wounds." Notice that I promise not just temporary relief but careful treatment. I treat each wound with the patience of a father who knows that the soul needs time to breathe again. I am cleansing the impurities left by disappointments, removing the thorns of words spoken to you and accepted as truth about yourself. Today, I am replacing your bandage of fear with a bandage of peace. Do you feel that gentle warmth warming your chest now? It is my touch, undoing the knots that anxiety has tightened for so many years. Before we proceed to what I will do with the losses you have suffered, I want you to make a move of faith. If you feel that the soul physician is working on something profound within you right now, leave your sign of surrender, like this message as a seal that you accept my treatment, and tell me, in the secrecy of this conversation, how long have you waited for this touch that no man could give you? Write your affirmation of healing here in the comments, leaving behind what paralyzed you. The physician touched me, but I haven't shown you everything I see yet. There is an old grief, an absence that still occupies a huge space in your home and in your heart, and it is about this void that I want to talk to you now. The healing I have begun to perform in you is not an isolated event that ends when this video ends, but a constant journey of many, many days. I see when you wake up in that cold dawn, feeling the weight of the silence in your room and the tiredness that insists on weighing on your eyes even before the coffee is ready. It is in these moments, when the world is still asleep and your pain seems to want to awaken before your hope, that I wish to be closer to you. Like a daily remedy that soothes the inflammation of the soul and brings clarity to the mind, I have prepared something so that you never feel helpless when the lights go out and thoughts try to steal your peace. If your heart longs to delve even deeper into my presence and find a safe haven for all your days, I have prepared a gift for you in the form of a journey, written with all my love and immense affection for each of my beloved sons and daughters. It is my digital book called Divine Love Devotional, The Voice of God. It was designed to be your constant companion, to be by your side in that moment of silence and profound intimacy that we reserve only for the two of us. You can find the way to receive this gift in the link I left in the description of this video and also in the first pinned comment. If, for some reason, today is not the time for you to seek it, do not allow the shadow of condemnation to touch your heart. Just remain here with me, for I will continue to sustain you with all my power through this message that flows now. And so that your mind may rest and no doubt may reach you, I want you to know that as soon as you complete your registration, access will arrive directly at the email address you registered. There you will find all the detailed, step-by-step instructions so that you can begin this daily restoration journey without any hindrance or confusion. For it is written in the book of the prophet Jeremiah, chapter 30, verse 17, "For I will restore health to you, and your wounds I will heal, declares the Lord. Let my voice be your first thought at dawn, and your last comfort when you go to bed." Breathe deeply now and trust that each word is a balm for your deepest scars. Stay here with me. Do not turn away, for what I have to reveal to you now about the losses that have left a void in your heart will bring the relief you have sought for years. I now enter that hallway in your house that seems to have grown longer with the passing years. I see you stop before that closed door, or perhaps before that closet, where the clothes still hold a scent that time stubbornly refuses to take away. I know the void left at your dinner table, the chair that now remains empty, and that, at each meal, seems to weigh tons of silence on your shoulders. Grief isn't just the day of goodbye. For you, it's been the weight of each birthday without a hug, of each piece of good news you wanted to share and realized, with a pang in your chest, that there was no one left on the other end of the line to listen. You try to be strong for your children, for your grandchildren, for your friends, but I see when you lay your head on the pillow and let the longing flow like an overflowing river. There are pains that are like oceans. They come in waves. Sometimes you think you're okay, that you've finally learned to swim in those waters, and suddenly a silly memory, the smell of coffee, or a song playing on the radio pulls you to the bottom again. Do you feel guilty for still crying? For still feeling that a part of you was ripped away without warning? I want you to know that I don't count the days of your pain as the world does. For me, your grief has no expiration date because your love is endless. I was there when the ground disappeared beneath your feet, when the sky seemed made of bronze and your prayers seemed to reach no further than the ceiling. I collected each of your tears in my silver wineskin. What you call loss, I call an interval in eternity, but I know that here, in your reality of flesh and blood, the void hurts and the absence wounds. For it is written in the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 5, verse 4, "Blessed are those who mourn, for they will be comforted." This comfort that I promise you is not an empty word of human comfort. It is my own spirit, filling the empty space left in your soul. I am descending now with a balm that does not erase the memory, but removes the poison of bitterness and despair. I am transforming your longing, which today is a thorn, into a bridge of hope. You are not alone in this valley of shadows. I am the shepherd who carries the wounded sheep in his arms when her legs can no longer bear the weight of the journey. Do you feel this breath of peace invading your room now? It is my hand wiping your face, whispering that the love you gave and received was never in vain. I am restoring your ability to smile without feeling guilt, to remember without falling apart. If this word of comfort has reached the deepest part of your longing now, allow heaven to record your response. What do you miss most today? What would you give up to have just 5 more minutes of conversation with the one who has departed? If you feel this video is a hug from the Father for your grieving soul, share it with someone who is also experiencing the silence of loss as an act of mercy. Write here in the comments as a seal that you accept my comfort and that you trust in my promise of reunion. God, comfort me. But don't think that healing ends in longing. There are invisible chains that still bind you to people who hurt and rejected you, and I need to break those links right now so that you can fly. I saw when your eyes fixed on that small screen of your cell phone and your heart gave a jolt, as if you had stumbled on an invisible step. I saw the lump that formed in your throat when you read that name, or remembered that bitter word they threw at you like a stone years ago. You carry chains that no one sees, but that weigh more than cast iron. They are the chains of rejection, of betrayal by those who should have protected you, and of abandonment by those who promised to walk with you to the end. You feel as if there's an invisible mark on your forehead, saying you're not good enough, that you'll always be replaced or left behind. I was there on that grey day when that person's silence was the cruelest answer you could receive. I saw when you looked at yourself in the mirror of that cramped bathroom and asked yourself what was wrong with you, why love seemed to slip through your fingers like fine sand. These disappointments weren't just passing sorrows, they became fences around your heart, preventing you from trusting, from dreaming, and even from feeling me whole. You created a fortress of distrust to protect yourself, but that same fortress ended up becoming your cell. Today, I come with the keys to freedom. I want to break those chains that bind you to the past and to people who don't even remember the harm they caused you. You cannot continue to allow the mistakes of another person to dictate the worth of my beloved daughter. If they rejected you, I welcomed you. If they betrayed you, I remained faithful. Your identity is not defined by who left, but by the one who never abandoned you. For it is written in Psalm 27, verse 10, "Though my father and mother forsake me, the Lord will receive me. Realize that my love does not depend on your performance or the approval of others. I chose you even before the world knew your name." These chains of bitterness are being melted now by the fire of my spirit. I am clearing your vision so that you may see yourself as I see you. Precious, unique, and restored. Do not allow the ghost of the one who hurt you to steal the sunshine I have prepared for your tomorrow. The forgiveness I invite you to release today is not a favor to the person who hurt you. It's the passport to your own peace. Do you feel the weight lifting from your shoulders right now? It's the relief of finally letting go of a burden that doesn't belong to you. If you feel these chains breaking now and that my voice is giving you the courage you lacked, leave a sign of your victory. What do you find most difficult to let go of today? Who is the person who still occupies a space of pain in your memory? If you feel this revelation is opening your paths, share this message with a woman you know who is trapped in the past as a gesture of mutual liberation. Write our word of authority in the comments, declaring that the past no longer has power over you. Free. But don't think the healing ends here. I will do something even deeper. I will take every ash of your burnt past and transform it into something so beautiful that you yourself will find it hard to believe. Look now at your hands. Perhaps you still feel the remnants of that invisible soot, the acrid smell of what burned and was lost in your history. You look at the corners of your life and see only cold ashes, the remains of what was once a burning dream, a family project, or a hope that the fire of trial mercilessly consumed. You sit there, perhaps in the corner of that sofa or on the edge of that bed, and you wonder how something alive can sprout from such parched and colorless ground. I saw when the fire of that crisis took what you loved most. I saw the glare of the flames on those nights of despair, and I saw your silence when the last ember went out, leaving only the dark trail of desolation. You think the ashes are the end point, the proof that everything is over. But I, your creator, see the ashes in a different light. I am not a God who merely observes the fire from afar. I am the God who walks among the rubble with you, soiling my feet in your pain to rescue you. For you, the ashes represent the end, mourning, and what will never return. For me, the ashes are the richest fertilizer for the earth that I will make bloom again. I am taking every fragment of what was destroyed, every piece of charred dream, and I am mixing it with my mercy to create new soil, far more fertile than before. You think your time to bear fruit has passed, that your age or your deep scars prevent you from being a lush garden again. But I tell you that the spring of heaven does not depend on the seasons of the earth. What I will make grow from this burnt earth of yours will have such firm roots that no wind will ever uproot them again. The beauty I am weaving in you now is not a fleeting appearance. It is a beauty that knows the weight of pain, but has chosen the power of life. For it is written in the book of the prophet Isaiah, chapter 61, verse 3, to give them a crown of beauty instead of ashes, the oil of gladness instead of mourning, and a garment of praise instead of a spirit of despair. Notice that I do not cleanse the ashes to then bless you. I transform the very ashes into your crown. What the enemy used to try to bury you is exactly what I am using to promote you. That shame you endured, that fire that seemed to consume you entirely, served only to burn away your impurities and leave only the pure gold of your faith. Today I am exchanging your mourning for a fragrance of joy that will emanate wherever you go. People will look at you and not understand how, after everything you have lived through, there is still that sparkle in your eyes. They will see the crown, but only you and I will know the price of the ashes. Do you feel the warmth of my hope returning to warm your heart? It is the sign that life is conquering death within you. Before we go to the place I have prepared for your rest, let your heart speak to me. What area of your life today seems like nothing but wasteland? If you feel my hand stirring that earth now, bring your prayer here. Share this message with someone who can only see the rubble of their own past, so that this soul may also know that the fire did not have the last word. Write in the comments what your soul declares about this new time. Flourishing. But prepare your spirit, because what I am about to show you is not just a promise of the future. It is a rendezvous in a garden of rest where I will teach you to truly rest. Come here, my daughter. Drop that heavy bag on the living room floor and allow your shoulders to finally relax. I saw the weight you carried today, the way your back bent under the burden of problems that aren't even yours, but that you took upon yourself out of pure love. I saw when your swollen feet begged for a rest you denied them because there's always dinner to make, dishes to wash, or someone demanding your attention. But now, at this very moment, when my voice reaches you, I am closing the door to the outside world and inviting you into a garden that the city asphalt doesn't know. You've spent your whole life running so that no one would be left behind, but in the process you ended up losing yourself. The noise of your routine, the clinking of cutlery, the sound of notifications on your cell phone, and the worries about bills at the end of the month have created a white noise that prevents you from hearing the beating of your own heart. I called you to this video because I've arranged a meeting with you in this garden of rest. Here, the ground isn't concrete, but soft, fresh grass that soothes the heat of your wounds. Can you smell the earth moistened by the rain that just passed? That's how I want your soul to feel now, cleansed and ready for the new. I don't want you exhausted anymore, trying to carry the world on your shoulders, as if you were the atlas of your own story. You are not the mainstay of all things. I am. I invite you to take off the shoes of your anxiety and sit by the waters I have prepared for you. Here, there are no demands, no deadlines, and no one will judge you if you simply want to be silent for a few minutes. For it is written in Psalm 23, verse 2, "He makes me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside still waters." Notice that I do not take you into the midst of battle without first giving you the necessary rest. This garden where we are now is the place where I restore your energy, where I exchange your weariness for vigor that comes from above. I am blowing a gentle breeze upon your face now, a breeze that carries away all the dust of worries that have accumulated in your thoughts today. Allow your body to feel this lightness. You don't need to solve anything now. You simply enjoy my company. Do you feel your heart slowing down as you listen to me? It is the sign that your soul has finally found safe harbor. If this moment of peace is what you most needed to find today, leave your sign of gratitude. What else steals your sleep and prevents you from truly resting? Tell me, here in the secrecy of our conversation. If you feel that this garden can also shelter another weary person, send this video as an invitation to divine rest. Write here in the comments our declaration of surrender, acknowledging where your true refuge lies, my rest. But don't close your eyes completely yet, for what I will whisper to your heart in the darkness of your next dawn will completely change the way you see your tomorrow. I know that sometimes your clock seems to have stopped in the darkest hours. You look at the hands and feel time dragging on, while the rest of the world sleeps a deep and peaceful sleep. I saw when you got up today, still in the dark, and felt the cold ground beneath your bare feet, a shiver that ran through your body and reminded you that you were alone with your thoughts. I saw when your eyes, heavy with weariness and a sadness that doesn't want to go away, searched for some sign of light in the window, but only found the darkness of dawn. At that moment, the weight of the silence in your kitchen was almost suffocating, and the only sound was the accelerated pulse of your own anguish. You wondered if the dawn would bring some color back to your life, or if your days would eternally remain this pale gray of someone who merely survives. I was there, leaning against the doorframe, watching your every breath. I saw you place your hand on your chest, trying to soothe the throbbing of a wound that no one else sees, but that seems to burn like embers. You carry burdens that were not meant for your shoulders, my daughter. You have taken upon yourself the pains of the past, the uncertainties of the future, and the guilt that the enemy whispers in your ear to keep you paralyzed. But I tell you, the weight you carry is about to be replaced by a lightness you haven't felt in many, many years. Do you remember when you were a child and sleep came effortlessly because you knew someone was watching the door? I want to give you back that peace. I am now removing the burdens of worry that you have placed in your emotional backpack. Every bill that keeps you awake at night, every diagnosis that frightens you, every silence from a child that hurts you, I am taking all of that into my hands now. You no longer need to carry the world, you only need to carry my promise. For it is written in the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 11, verses 28 to 30, "Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am gentle and humble in heart. And you will find rest for your souls. For my yoke is easy, and my burden is light." Notice that I am not calling you to a new religious obligation, but to an exchange of burdens. I take your pain and give you my peace. I take your confusion and give you my clarity. On that dawn when you felt most helpless, I was already drawing the roadmap for your restoration. The lightness that is descending upon you now is not an illusion. It is the result of my strong arm acting in your favor. You will breathe deeply again, feeling the air fill your lungs without that tightness in your chest that accompanied you. Do you feel your spirit calming now, like the waters of a lake after the storm? It is my voice saying that the worst is over. Before we reach the final moment of this encounter, I want to ask you something deep in your soul. What would you do tomorrow if you no longer had any fear holding you back? What would your heart dream of if the pain were just a page turned? Share this message with that person you know who spends sleepless nights battling their own ghosts, as a sign that the sun is about to rise for them too. Write in the comments the word that seals your new journey, declaring that the weight is behind you, relieved. But don't leave now. I promise to give you a key, a final secret that I will reveal only to those who remained with me in the garden. What I am about to tell you is the definitive answer to what still hurts you. At this moment when my voice becomes an even more intimate whisper within your being, I want you to look at your hands one last time on this journey. They no longer carry the weight of those ashes, and the trembling you felt at the beginning of our conversation has given way to a firmness that comes from above. You are no longer the same woman who clicked on this video seeking fleeting relief. You are now a daughter who understands that the throbbing wound was the place where I chose to plant your greatest strength. What the world tried to use to break you, I used to mold you, and every tear that watered your desert served to prepare the garden where you now rest with me. I promised you, in the very first minute of our meeting, that I would give you a clear answer and a spiritual key that would open the doors locked by your suffering. You remained faithful, listened to every word, and allowed my balm to touch places you swore no one would ever reach. Now, as a seal of authority over your new life, and as the final answer to everything that still tried to hurt you, I give you this eternal truth that should echo in every beat of your heart. I can do all things through him who strengthens me. This is not just a comforting phrase, it is your new identity. When pain tries to knock on your door again, when the memory of rejection or grief tries to pull you down, you will raise your voice and declare this promise of mine to the universe. I want you to seal this covenant of faith now. Right here in the comments, with all the strength of your soul, this phrase of victory, I can do all things through him who strengthens me. By writing, you will be telling heaven that you accept complete healing and that you trust in the power that sustains you above any storm. Don't think that my voice will be silenced here. I still have profound secrets to reveal to you, and paths of calm waters to show you in our next conversations. Continue to pay attention to what divine love has prepared for you in this house of prayer and teaching, for my playlist of revelations is always open to guide you. Remain in my light, for the journey of your restoration has only begun, and what I have prepared for your tomorrow is greater than anything you lost yesterday. I am your remedy that never fails. I am the embrace that heals your past. I am your peace that the world cannot steal.